Hello, hello. Sorry, I'm a little bit far from the mic right now because I once again misplaced my water. So this was an April Fool's mod made for Red Wraith server. We're just now getting around to playing. Well, I mean we've been playing it for a few weeks or a few Mondays now, but we definitely are not playing it around April Fool's. It took us 2 months to get to it. It has a lot of random junk that makes it annoying to build. The worst one has to be the inserter rotations, because it also includes bot placements. So we can use bots. Doesn't really guarantee the build works, though. Oh, wait, hold up. I have an idea. If we build everything out of filter inserters, it's slower to build, but at least they can't be placed incorrectly. Well, okay, they can be placed incorrectly, but if they are, they don't put things on the wrong belt, right? No, never mind, that doesn't do anything. Actually, no, does that work? I think that works, right? Yeah, that might do what I want it to do. And then if we use filter inserters plus underground belts, kind of like we do in burner designs, we might be able to make it pretty consistent. I might do that for my next build. I'm updating the list right now because there's a couple things that I forgot to update when I figured out what they did. It's like rogue turrets. Anytime a turret is placed, it has a chance of turning on us with like infinite ammo and everything. It's the flamethrower one's really annoying when that happens. Like, it doesn't deal much damage, it's just, you know, burns everything, and it's, Meteors, don't know what meteors do. I'm assuming it makes it that meteors spawn, but we haven't really seen any meteors, so I cannot figure that one out. Dancing inserters, down straightforward. Disco players, I would think makes it that my color changes randomly, but I haven't really noticed that happening, so I don't know. Like, ever since we switched to purple, we've stayed purple. Maybe manually changing it overrides that. Spinning world, no idea what that means. I have not been able to figure that one out at all. That does not make sense. Rotten egg also does not make sense, which is apparently on there twice. And then orphan crafting. Oh, that one's silly. Every now and then, it just, we craft like 5. Every now and then we craft a single underground belt, or 3. I don't know if it adds one or takes away one, but yeah, every now and again you just get like one less underground belt, which is really silly. Magic drills, unknown. I don't know what magic drills does. But yeah, fortunately I have a couple things to make it easier for solo, but it's still rough. Oh, also biters can walk on water. Do I have that? Yeah, I do have that. We switched, obviously, from the stuff at the top is stuff that we kind of started with, and then it started giving us like a lot more changes, so I just switched to a list. So is there anything I'm missing? Nope. Okay. I mean, there's probably some stuff that I missed, because it gives you like a notification just as a brief pop-up, and sometimes I miss them. Although there isn't any like weird effect we can't explain right now, so that's nice. I wonder how close we got. Oh my gosh, am I gonna have to put a radar underground? I think I might put a radar underground. Oh yeah, also our hotbar randomly changes. That one's fun. Like, we finally get muscle memory, and then it puts like nuclear fuel or something in my hotbar. It's like, yep, that's exactly what I wanted. Okay, so that's not a light. For some reason I thought that would light it up. This is like the first time I've ever used lamps, and they're kind of cool. Let's see, how's our filtering working? It seems fine. I could actually cycle it back that way, and that would be a little bit more condensed. But we obviously didn't do it that way because I originally wasn't sure how many lanes I would have. But yeah, our recycling belt does not... does it works, but it's not super expandable, so we'll have to redo it. Yeah, the one thing that keeps us going is the fact that we have like times 10 mining speed. Otherwise, we would be doomed. I don't know what this belt does. Is it supposed to be there? I can't tell if that belt is supposed to be there or not. I think this is supposed to go to a new lane next to it. Let's see, no change. Okay, cool. How's our power? Last time, okay, we have notes, right? I saved more plastic and yellow. Okay, so we are currently limited by plastic. That's preventing us from getting any LDS. I think the issue with plastic is just not enough oil cracking mostly. Yeah, and just not enough petroleum in general. But it looks like our issue is oil cracking. So if we set up some oil cracking, I think that'll help a fair amount. Let's see, where's landfill? Okay, we can just cover this whole thing. Because it's not like we really need that patch. And then if I reroute this, I think things get a little bit easier. Oh, gosh, the unsorted inventory is awful. Actually, I guess it's sorted. It just like it's in the same order all the time. So I guess it is sorted to some degree. Don't know why I put a lamp up here. What am I looking for? Pipes and underpipes. Perfect. Unfortunately, our base is relatively safe for now. I am worried that that won't be the case for that long, but at least we have a little bit of time where I can live somewhat peacefully. We take whatever wins we can get. Okay, the heavy oil cracking seems fine. We can always add a speed module if it's not. Okay, so then this is something I should just be able to copy. It doesn't quite work like I want to, but that's just because this is tessellating in a weird spot, but I don't think that's inherently an issue. And then I think we're just going to have to underground past this and then maybe make more over here, which is a little bit a ways away, but not necessarily a bad thing. There we go. Only adds a little bit of distance. I can live with that. And then water. Okay, bots probably don't have chemical plants. They have most of the stuff. Oh yeah, that's another thing. When biters spawn, they actually have a hitbox. The scare explosions. So it can like shift me by a tile, which is really a lot more annoying than I thought it would be, because it makes a lot of misplacements happen. Looks like the Space Age release date is being told in the next Friday Facts. I don't understand why they announced an announcement. I imagine there has to be some, like, I don't know, mental thing about it, like, or psychological thing about it, because this is not the first time that's happened. Like, obviously people do that. What is happening here? But it always baffles me that you announce announcements, because data shows that announcements gets hype, I guess. I mean, I feel like it's not lacking. They're not lacking hype. But yeah, that's probably it. Path of Exile used to have announcements that they would announce an announcement ahead of time. I'm assuming that's what PoE is, right? I tried to play that. It was a neat game. Then I completely forgot about it after playing it for like a day. But it was fun while it lasted. Yeah, I'm definitely, honestly, if somebody announces an announcement, for me personally, I'm more likely to just stop caring at that point. If it wasn't Factorio, obviously. If it wasn't Factorio. The fact that it's Factorio means I kind of have to follow it, but a lot of games I'd just be like, you know what? Hype gone, and just go do something else. Because I am stubborn. Okay, so the lazy way to do this is speed modules. However, we are limited on power. But on the other hand, we can build another power plant, which is actually supposed to go here, now that I think about it. No, it definitely seems like a fun game. I had no, like, issues with it. I just forgot about it. I don't think I was in as much of a mood for a action RPG as I thought I was, because I was thinking I was really craving one, and then I think it turns out I just wasn't. But it was very neat. I couldn't... Now, I can't tell you what the difference are between classes. I don't understand if there is any difference with the way the skills work. But aside from that, it was a cool game with lots of builds. The custom spells is really cool. I love custom spell mechanics in any game, so I was biased. Like, I think Two Worlds is an amazing RPG because of that, despite the fact that it's a terrible game. Yay for chat working today? Oh, was it not working for you yesterday? I mean, I know I had some internet issues, but that doesn't break chat at least. So glad it's working now. I'm looking for something, but I don't remember what. Oh, landfill we keep by here. That's why I couldn't find it. There's a time where I had some down there, so I guess that's still in my mind. Slight starting stats, where they start in the tree, and which skill gems they have easy access to. Okay, so I was kind of right. There's not like a massive difference between them. I thought I was just crazy. I wasn't sure if maybe they just had like an entire like different subset of skill gems that could drop if you chose a different class. I don't know why bots aren't placing this. Later they have their own special trees. Okay. Oh, right. I can't rotate stuff very easily. Gotcha. Yeah, I guess I didn't play late enough to get to that. Because like I said, I only played until like, I don't know, level 30 or something. Well, just like probably like 20. I don't think I got that high. But it was a fun day. It was a fun day of playtime for sure. Oh no, my hotbar's ruined again. Okay, where can this go? Oh, I wanted to put it on my hotbar again. There we go. Okay, research is done. Nothing's changed. Awesome. It was weird. It was working on your laptop but not on your desktop. Twitch be weird sometimes. I don't think there's anything other than that. That's just something I've accepted. Oh, I see. That is why we're not getting long inserters. Okay. This makes sense, because we did suddenly start buffering green science, which feels really weird, but we need like 100,000 of it, or not 100,000, we need like 50,000 of it, I think. So I wanted to start buffering it. The real question is, why is this not working that well? Ah, these are not producing fast enough. You know, we have enough copper. I think it's time I remove the prod modules. That should help. Now, if we could get speed modules, that would be even better, but I don't think we have any of those yet. I'm pretty sure we haven't set them up. Oh yeah, also we have this cursed blue chip design, which is really, really expensive, like 100 times more expensive, but it can't be misplaced by bots, which is kind of nice, but it's such an absurd design. Oh, Burger, wait. Were you streaming this whole time? Well, thanks so much for the raid. Yeah, this is at this point of the run, it's basically just marathon mode, but everything is awful to place. That's a good summary of it. Okay, we're not producing enough iron, so we need to go fix that. But I want to get plastic fixed first. So we were limited on oil. Also, ooh, wait, I have an idea. I don't think this really does what I want it to. Now that I was so excited about it, I'm pretty sure this doesn't solve everything. Ooh. Oof. Invincible stuff is the worst. You're feeling heavy. Okay, my inventory's pretty full. You got about? Okay, have a good day. Thanks for the raid. Everyone else can enjoy my suffering. Yeah, basically, things are terrible to place, and that's the gist of it. I would not recommend it. It is fun though. I would recommend it, but at the same time, nobody deserves the suffering. Why am I making that a red belt? Because I think the issue is just that I don't have a full yellow belt, right? So we could use prod modules, which feels weird, but we have them. And then we can just do more next to it, because that will save on our precious petroleum and it'll save on coal, which I don't think coal is precious. But still probably worth saving. Let's see, where's the plastic? Okay, so it should be a red belt up to that point, I think. I think that's manageable. Okay, so if it's a red belt up to here, that solves our plastic throughput issue, because this is split. We need half a yellow belt here, slightly more than half a yellow belt here. I think. I don't know, it's been a while since we played, so it might not actually be an issue. Yesterday was space exploration. Is this underground exploration? Oh my gosh. It just misplaced 3 inserters in a row. But yeah, I wonder that too. I almost made that my title one day, actually, because it's pretty accurate. Okay, so that one we got a lot luckier with our placements. I'll take that. This one's placed the wrong way. And then if we could get another one up here, I think life would be good. Well, maybe not good. We're still playing this mod. Better. Though, we can go with better. Maybe we should just automate these. I don't know why we haven't. I think... Oh, right. When we first started, I didn't know Marathon was going to be a thing. That changes how much of everything you need very significantly. So I was very much undersizing my base before that was announced. The real question is, how do I get this to the correct side? Prod mod 1 needs oil? What do you mean? I mean, like, yes, it does need oil, but I'm not sure what the meaning behind that is. Like, we're not saving oil because of it? I don't know, it might pay for itself. If it weren't Marathon, it wouldn't, but since it is Marathon, I think it'll save more oil than it spends. Than it costs. Okay, at least this is working pretty well, though. Not oil, the petroleum gas. I guess I just meant oil in the general sense. Oils. As opposed to just raw oil. Okay, this seemed to be working a lot better. Actually, I don't know if we're getting any more out of it with the prod modules, but at least we're getting it faster. We probably need more machines. Gosh darn, god darn. Once again, we are fooled by the unsorting. I'm not gonna get used to that, I don't think. Can I put a splitter here? Yes, but not perfectly. But it's good enough, I think. It's still a improvement. An improvement? It's still a improvement. And then we have to like sit here and like watch placement, so you can't trust that bots do it. Okay, so now to go to my new plan. Basically, I had this idea that if we use filter inserters for builds, misplacements can't be bad. Oh, gotcha. I thought you were just meaning like it uses plastic somewhere in the chain, or oil somewhere in the chain. I get you. Yeah, no, this is plastics. Don't be fooled by the icons down there. Okay, so plastic should be a lot better. Actually, is it? Yeah, technically it's better. Now we do have more of a power plant. However, everything's placed wrong, so we'll see if it actually works. Rotate. That just failed 5 rotations in a row. I don't know if you can really see it. You might be able to hear it. But yeah, the placements were all wrong. Okay. So that's good. We're good on heavy oil. Perfect. It's not backing up. Oil cracking. Definitely functioning better. And we're still getting plenty of solid fuel for power. Although I feel like this isn't that sustainable. I'm pretty sure we need more solid fuel assembly machines. Or chemical plants, sorry. There we go. Let's get a splitter, so that way it's a much easier upgrade if we just decide to speed module it out of laziness, which I will say it's not a great idea to use speed modules for something like this, just because it's consuming more power to get more power isn't ideal, but it's still a net positive, so like it's better than nothing. They're just better options. Okay, these might work. Some of them might work. That's what matters. Oh, that is unfortunate. My ghost placements destroyed it. Okay, how can I actually power this? Maybe go around? Yeah, that works. That works. Okay. I think we're still out of chemical plants. Oh, we can make 2 more. Awesome. I will just chill for these. Then we need power and power. Oh, all of the inserters got placed correctly, though, so that's nice. Okay, that's a small increase in power. I'll take it. Yeah, it should be like a 1-to-3 ratio. Which means this can support about 48. So we should be good. Is this not connected? No, okay. I was wondering why our power hadn't increased. Okay, now we once again have more than enough crude. We don't actually have a crude tank anymore. We used to. Then it was eaten by biters and we never fixed it. But yeah, we're definitely short on iron in the underground. That is a fairly easy fix to do. I think we're producing enough oil. I don't really know. We have a really big patch, but obviously the patch seems a lot smaller now that there's Marathon. We might have to go get a second oil patch, which I don't know if that exists, so maybe we're doomed. Okay, why are we not getting enough iron? Are we oh, I think we're just dragging from it in like 3 separate points. So let's see, this one is backed up, and that's because it's combined in the splitter, so that does make sense. So if we can shift this one over here, I think we can make it work. Don't know why I thought there was enough space there. That doesn't work. Maybe it was right the first time. Maybe we just shift things. Maybe that's the strat. Yeah, I think we just need to put another one next to it, like right here. Things get simple. Much simpler that way. Okay, I don't know what kind of logic it needs, so we're just going to put no logic. Or the same logic as this one. Also possibly works. Okay, if we move this up, we can't add the splitter, so what if we do... Oh, if we do the splitter here, I think we're good. Huh. Hold on, I have to redo all of these, maybe. Oh gosh, we do not really have the space for this. we can make it work, but it's a lot messier than I wanted it to be. Okay, I think we did it. We changed the prio, so that's not good, but that's fine. We're low on iron anyway. Starting a new playthrough. Playthrough. Nightmare mode. Nightmare plus survival. You don't know if that'll add anything to the modless run. Oh, modless as in no neuromods. I was like, as in playing the game without mods? You heard that, huh? I thought I stopped talking before playthrough became obvious. Rip. Okay, yeah, we just need to start building everything out of filter inserters so they don't back up the lanes. Actually, no, it doesn't matter down here. It would only matter for steel. Is this set up right? Yeah, that's set up right. Okay, iron is not increasing, but I think that's fine. I think we can get rid of this buffer. Also, is these red belts in enough spots? Oh my gosh. I forgot about the red belt. That's what happened to all of our iron. Okay, I think 2,000 is enough of a buffer. Okay, so that's good. This one's good. Fast loaders, fast loaders. I think we still have spare iron, but not a ton anymore, because this is just getting fully emptied into the belt. Machine. This one's getting fully emptied to the machine. These are being prioritized towards steel. Okay, and that's all of our iron lanes. We do have the ability to get more iron fairly easily, though, from these patches. So we can do another build next to it. How expensive are red belts? 3 times more expensive than red belts. I mean, it's only like 20,000 iron backed up in the belt, or backed up in that chest, which isn't like an insane amount. I just don't have a ton of resources. So like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not incredibly expensive, but also we're still slightly resource starved, so I don't want to push it. Also, can I fit another power plant in here? Ooh, no. But it's close. I could fit one up there and get the rest of one. Also, that's weird. I don't like that. Okay, there's something I needed to do here before we continued on. I just don't remember what it was. The ceiling collapsed? I don't think the ceiling collapsed. What am I looking for? Why am I up here? Also, why aren't these running? Oh, we still don't have enough plastic. At least we're doing better on plastic, but yeah, it's like we're still getting some LDS. It used to be that we can only run like one assembling machine. You saw the red triangle. Oh, did it collapse? It seems fine. That could have just been biters attacking us, because we do constantly get attacked on the surface. Okay, seriously, why did I come up here? Oh, I didn't say it out loud, so nobody would have been able to answer me. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so if we take a splitter, we need to make a new lab setup. Because we didn't do this initially, because it turns out we didn't know Marathon existed. And yeah, that's a very significant increase in the amount of labs you need. Who would have thought that needing 5 times the research, or sorry, 10 times the research is 10 times the labs? I know it sounds a little bit crazy when I put it like that. It's hard to believe, but it's true. Belt. There we go. Yeah, exactly. Who would have thunk? Okay, and then I guess we kind of have to do this one largely by hand, which is annoying. I like how I'm building it right next to the biters. Like, this is my wall now. But that's fine. We plan to expand the wall. As long as the flamethrowers can shoot over the labs, we're fine. It would also help if we research more constantly, but I think we're out of blue science researches for the most part, which is complicating it. Okay, so if we just give labs to bots, I think we're okay. And then we'll just drop whatever we can into here. And honestly, this probably won't get too backed up. I say that, but things can be horribly broken. It's really just the long inserters that we have to do correctly. I think we place these by hand, and if we don't, we're doomed. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, we just have to place these ones by hand. Because otherwise they can empty the belt and put stuff back onto the belt. Maybe I should have gone with the loader strat. I mean, I wouldn't have lab throughput speeds if we did that. Although I guess we're never going to have the lab throughput speed issues. I don't think. Yeah, not unless we like ultra peak them. But Doom equals good? That's true. Doom, well, for everyone else. Maybe not so much for me. But for people watching it, I guess Doom does equal good. That's what people are asking for. Do we not have enough labs? We are 17 labs short. Can I fix that? That is the question. Yeah, we're definitely short on plastic still. How is this not enough plastic? This is a red belt. Is it really backed up? I thought sideloading it wouldn't be an issue. But it turns out I was wrong, which makes sense. I don't know why I would be right. I just guessed. Is there a doggo barking? Usually. Pretty much always. So yeah, you're probably hearing my dog. Why do you do this to myself? Because I was supposed to do it for April Fool's Day, but that didn't happen, so we have to make up for lost time. This doesn't feel balanced. Oh wait, you know what would have been a better idea? A splitter. Okay, and then we'll do another one. Okay, this is a weird way to do it, but it does the job. Oh, come on, that was my only one. Okay, This is called side balancing when you really have no idea what side of the belt things are being taken from. It's perfect. Now that'll prevent the stuff backing up here. I think that only gives me like 2 extra two extra chemical plants worth of production, but hey, it's effectively free. Or it's very easy to set up. Okay, now we should have enough labs at least. These can go here, no problem. Okay, bots should be able to finish. I don't know how many of these will run. We also messed up that belt. I don't actually know how that happened. That's actually really weird that that happened. Never mind. I get it now. It had to do with smart belt breaking because it got invincibility. There we go. Okay, that's great. Now we have larger bot builds for all of the nothing that we can research. Or we have a larger lab for all of the nothing we can afford to research. But at least this will keep us going until we get to purple and yellow science. Okay, and then we needed more iron. Honestly, we don't really have anything to spend the iron on, though. So I should probably... I should probably set up... Actually, why don't I have yellow science? That's a good question. I literally have everything I need for yellow science. Why don't I have any yellow? You have no idea what is where at this point in time? I don't know where anything is ever, which is why we just mindlessly water until we find it. It usually works. Okay, I guess we just film the entire lake, because this is a lot of usable space. And it's better than expanding my base towards a different lake. There we go. Okay, yeah, I'm glad we made an uncapped amount of landfill. I wasn't sure if it would pay for itself, but it definitely has. Okay, so I want to make this one bot-proof, I think. So to do that... Where should it be? I guess... Actually, this is kind of useful as, like, backups in case spiders break through, so we'll leave that gap. So we have a couple ways we can do it. I say we input... No, this doesn't work. I was going to say we can put purple and red on yellow on the same belt still, but I don't think that's actually a good idea. But yeah, this is a little bit more costly. A little bit of a costly way to build it. However, it means they can't output stuff onto the wrong belt. So this is just going to blacklist things. This is going to whitelist. So this just makes it that it can't output yellow onto the input belt if things are built incorrectly. Which is just a little bit nicer than completely bricking the lane. It's not, obviously I would rather have a functional lane, but we'll take what we can get. Then these can just be yellow belts. There's no reason for them to be anything else. At least the rocket launch, I think the rocket launch is going to be cheap. I haven't really played with, what's it called? Expensive recipe, not expensive recipe for, but like, actually, is it called expensive recipe? It might just be called expensive recipes. But I haven't really played with that before. Oh no, Marathon. The expensive research. I'm assuming it doesn't increase the cost of rocket launches, right? Gosh, does it increase the cost of rocket launches? That could go either way. Conceptually, they both make sense. And conceptually, I don't want either. I don't want it to increase the cost, but there is a good chance it does. Which would be very painful. Because I've been like kind of relying on the fact that maybe the rocket silos are going to be cheap. That'll keep me going. But if that's also full price, we're doomed. We're absolutely doomed. Okay, that can't be mine. That's okay. Surprised that fit so well there. I feel like that shouldn't have fit. And then this needs to go all the way to the left. Awesome. We still haven't gotten cliff explosives, but I think that's fine, because I feel like most of our bottlenecks, really, cliff explosives won't help. We have other space issues. We have other reasons to have space issues than that. Okay, Broke stuff. Don't know why this has so many power poles on that side. Oh, that's why. Because we got some invincible belts and I didn't want to fix it. Okay, well, let's fix now. No excuse. Okay. We're close, right? Yes. That was fun. Definitely the placements I wanted that. That didn't take like 4 tries to rotate. I really wish you could like see my like hands in this instance, because there's a lot of times where I'm doing things and they're not working, and it doesn't really come across in the video. Like the failed rotations don't really come across that well, but they exist. They're there, and they just make they frustrate me to no end. When you try to rotate an inserter like 5 times and it just keeps choosing a random direction. I would not recommend. Okay, so coins somehow got on this belt. We should be able to filter those out decently enough. But now we have something we can copy. So this is what we would need for like a normal launch in a reasonable time frame. This would launch in like 2 hours. Unfortunately, this is marathon. So it's going to be a lot more painful than that. So I think we need to prepare for a much larger build, right? Although I doubt we'll be able to get the resources for a larger build, so we'll see. We'll do what we can. There also might be... There might be more expensive... There still might be one more tier of Marathon, I'm not sure. I mean, worst case scenario, we just tone down Marathon or just don't include that as part of it. Like, if it gets incredibly boring, we'll probably just call it. Because, like, if we get to the point where we're producing purple and yellow, there's not really anything else we have to do. It's just a waiting game. So we'll keep playing until it's, until we just run out of any, like, reasonable expansion opportunity. Because, like, we have a lot of space we can expand if we get the landfill. And then there's still a ton of stuff down in the below area that we can mine. But yeah, 30, 30 yellow science. It's ambitious. It's very ambitious, I will say that. Just a tad. And then this one can just grab coins, I think. Just to clear the belt. Actually, it should grab them here. There's absolutely no reason for them to be a tile later. And this is just for the ones that occasionally make it through, like if I'm standing on the belt. Because coins just back up a lot of stuff pretty frequently. And then we can do the same thing over here. Okay, perfect. How much do I need? Yes, exactly. I love the orphan crafting. It is such a dumb... It is such a dumb addition. Like, it affects almost nothing. It just makes it that you occasionally get a single underground. And I love it. It's just one of the smallest changes this mod has. Does absolutely nothing. But it's there, just to troll you, into making you think that you misplaced an underground somewhere. I love it. Okay, we ran out of undergrounds, actually. You know, maybe we would have made it across if we had that orphan underground, huh? I guess technically it does occasionally just make it that you waste a very small amount of resources on wasted undergrounds, so that's something. Makes things marginally more expensive. How dare he? Okay, where's iron? I don't think we would survive without exoskeletons. That keeps us going. For sure. Splitters. And then... Oh, we're out of chests. We need lots of chests because we drop them everywhere to clear our inventory. Because inventory being filled up does hurt us. So we want to avoid that. Okay. I don't think I made it relative blueprint. Oh yeah, there is one part of this mod. There is a small chance, and I haven't been able to confirm it, because it doesn't sound real, but I feel like this mod makes it that things get placed relative to each other. Or not placed relative to each other. I think it overrides blueprints and sometimes makes them absolute. I really can't prove it, but I tried to build something the other day and I couldn't place it. I couldn't place it. There we go. You tested without EXO last time, it would end really, really quick without it. What are you talking about? Not sure what you mean. Health? Oh, like in combat? But yeah, I skipped placing the inserters because in this build in particular, they can be placed the wrong direction. Because this solution that we have up here to use filter inserters is really good. It just only works for assembly machines. It won't work for labs. Oh, mining? Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. That wasn't related to the exoskeletons, though. That was just the power armor in general. But I get what you mean. I remember now. Yeah, we can go with first. Hello, Red Wave. I'm still paranoid about some changes that may or may not be real, so congratulations, you have successfully gaslit me like no tomorrow. Mission successful. We cut power. I guess that's okay. Okay, technically functional. We do not have that much yellow science to supply this many labs, but, you know, they're here if I want them. That's what matters. It's gonna be annoying to build, isn't it? That's the wrong spot. What changes? This mod does not add any changes. I've been hallucinating everything this whole time. Honestly, it would explain a lot if I've just been hallucinating this entire mod. I think that is easier to explain than whatever this mod actually does. But yeah, let's start researching RCUs. I just saw the cost of RCUs are like 3 times the cost of what the entire like silo research costs in vanilla. So this is not enough. Moral of the story, this is not even close to enough. I don't know why it's not getting circuits. I feel like we're supposed to be getting circuits from up here. So what we can do though is take from this. The higher up we take it, the better. Okay, we need landfill to make this work, don't we? Or we could use this. No, we should use landfill because I need a higher throughput. Possibly need a higher throughput. I guess I don't really know that for sure. We don't really know how much we'll need. I think once we get to the point where all of this is built, we'll see how things are actually going. Because we might be here a while. I imagine we'll have to expand the top base, but honestly, we might not. I was thinking the assembly machines are going to be a lot harder to build. I forget how much of a Factorio base is the furnaces. Like most of it. At least half of it is probably furnaces and drills. Like, the assembly machines are fairly dense, especially since you can add speed modules and stuff to them. Okay, so this needs to sideload here. And that should be fine. Okay, that should make it that these continue to run. And then never mind, I was mistaken. We actually need to sideload them earlier. There we go. Not a problem. In burner bases, but that's true. In burner bases, everything you thought was right is wrong. Hello, Vega. Welcome, welcome. Okay, we're just gonna try to drop off our inventory. It feels so weird prod modding LDS. It just doesn't feel like the right option, but at the same time, marathon. Changes everything I thought I knew. At least we have bots. In burner base, literally everything is on fire. Only metaphorically. Until the late game, once we set everything on fire, then things change. Okay, so we need a fast inserter production. So don't really have a good plan for that. Or, sorry, a filter inserter production. I guess we can take from this. We can move this. That makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so filter inserters is literally just circuits and fast inserter, right? Yeah, okay. So if we can get if we can get circuits from somewhere, everything looks good. And I think we don't really have enough in the main mall to take from, so I say we have to take from elsewhere. In fact, furnaces take less inserters compared to assemblers and burner bases. Yeah, the amount of inserters, or the amount we consume in burner bases is insane. This isn't what I wanted that to look like. Yeah, the amount of... Actually, no, we can make it work. The amount of inserters we use for an assembly line is bonkers. It's way too much. Why do I have a splitter here? There we go. If we remove that, things get nicer. Okay, there we go. Look at this healthy dose of spaghetti. I mean, spaghetti's... Is spaghetti healthy? I feel like it's not unhealthy. Like, it's not, like, covered in grease or anything. But it's also, like, pure carb. So, it doesn't have a ton of nutritional value either. But, I mean, it's fine. Not if a burner works too much, it catches on fire. It already feels like they do that. They already feel like they're just on fire with how poorly they function. There we go. Okay. I am moderately happy with this. We're somehow out of steel. Oh, right, because I threw it all into the LDS assembler. Never mind, that makes sense. Yeah, it's just some flour, eggs, and water. So it's like... It's alright. I guess it's not like a vegetable. That's really the only thing, but it's not unhealthy for sure. But honestly, these days, as long as they're not eating fast food, I feel like it's considered relatively healthy. I feel nutritional stuff is all over the place. I trust nothing. Okay, I trust some things. But I feel like it changes every like 5 or 10 years when new quote-unquote research gets discovered. We don't need stone furnaces. We don't need bricks. We don't need the pipes where we're going. Where we're going, we don't need pipes. As we go to the deep underground. Don't think that's what the sentence originally was referring to, but yeah, we can pretend it is. Okay. How is our power? Power is decent. We can expand our base. Awesome. I guess our drills use an insanely low amount of power, don't they? Okay, I know what we were missing. We were missing this. I thought I would find it by the time I said that. I didn't. We need steel furnaces. We need some more transport belts. We need some more fast transport belts. That's a lot. We don't need that many. Well, actually, no, we do need a lot. Actually, let's just take all of them. Let's take all of them. I think that is okay. And then undergrounds we're producing over here, so hopefully we don't have an iron shortage still. And then this needs circuits. Okay, so we'll just take from this so we can craft them if we need them. And then we need belts. And then our inventory isn't completely full. I guess we can store some blueprints here. And then what don't we need? Honestly, we need a lot of this stuff. Maybe I'll just leave the small things behind. Okay, we don't need the firearm mags. We definitely need the walls. We need... No, I think we're good. Oh yeah, and we can buy some more personal laser defenses. I think that was on my list last time, and then we forgot about it. So we have these things. I just don't know where they are. Oh my gosh, what did they look like? Is it this one? Okay. Perfect. Then we can get rid of this. And then replace it with, I guess, another battery. Ooh, wait. We haven't gotten a tier 2 battery yet. Okay, so that should be pretty significant increase. Wait, what happened to the battery? Did it not purchase because I had something in my inventory? Okay. So yeah, all these laser defenses are because biters can just spawn anywhere, and the faster they die, the better. Also, our inventory is way too full for this. We need to buffer stuff. Okay. We don't need a splitter. We'll keep most of this in a chest. Why did I bring landfill with me to the underground? There we go. And then if we have a spot up here we can toss stuff, that would be nice. It can eventually clear itself. Don't know if it's that useful, but I mean, at least it means the resources aren't completely wasted. Now, we don't do anything with uranium, right, other than store it. It changes after auction where scientists want more money from food industry. Who pays more? Yeah, honestly, that would explain a lot. I could buy that as the reason. I mean, it makes more sense than science change than healthiness actually changing every year. Okay, we'll put this on our hotbar. Oh, Mia, that's some intense spaghetti. Yeah. Well, okay, so the thing is, some things change, so that a lot of stuff, or like either things change or they break or they get like permanent. So we have to do a lot more spaghetti than we want to because belts just randomly don't work. Stuff like that happens a lot. Where they just, they cause like things to underground, and then we could either pull out like a shotgun and shoot it, or you can just roll with the spaghetti. So we just kind of roll with a lot of the things. And also we just, it's fun to make spaghetti. So like we do it either way, but you know, we at least have some of an excuse. Why don't I see any light? There we go. Maybe I should make this absolute relatives, that way it's easier to place. I'm just happy we have bots though. Okay, inventory is filling up. We definitely need to drop it off soon. Bots are not working fast enough for that. They do not in this mod. They wanted me to suffer, so they did. Okay, I think theoretically, this is just a transport belt, right? So I could get an extra red belt out of this. Yeah, I should be able to. But yeah, they made it that bots don't remove rocks, so that way you have to suffer through mining it. This was originally meant as a multiplayer scenario, so it wasn't as tedious to do all this stuff. Which is why we have such a high build speed to make up for that. But it's still very rough. Most of our time building is setting up rocks. Also, this is not correct. But we have a handy-dandy machine gun, which is our only tool for removing stuff, so that's good. Looks like this one's messed up too. Okay, I guess we can just not create a copy. Select new contents is the first one. I always get those ones messed up. There we go. There we go. Okay, I think we have enough clear that we should be able to build the whole lane. But yeah, there's also cave-ins. So when we mine rocks, one of the, like, there is the disadvantage, like, when we mine stuff, we're mining so fast that it's really easy to cause cave-ins. So it does kind of punish us to have this extra build speed. So it's not a pure win. So if anyone thought I had it good, I don't. We always need a slake. What is a slake? Oh, like to dissolve them? Like what, isn't that some kind of base? That would be effective. Yeah, let's just dissolve. I'd be okay with that. Oh my gosh. That took like 5 rotations. Oh. Okay, it just happened to also be something that related to rocks. Okay. Coincidences, got it. Yeah, that also works. Yeah, we just need 19 more players, and then it's not as bad. Okay, we're taking damage. That makes sense. We do take damage whenever we mine stuff, because why would they make it... Why wouldn't they do that? Why would they be nice to us? They are never nice to us. Okay, we can just, I guess, start emptying our inventory here. I fully expect most of these will not be used, However, they might help thin it out. They might occasionally, like, empty the chest. And if they don't, it's not the end of the world. Like, USB takes 3 attempts to fit them in, even if they have only 2 sides. Honestly, yeah, that's a very, very accurate depiction of what it feels like to use burner inserters. Or not burner inserters. I'm so used to saying burner inserters. To just place inserters in this mod. I wonder if it would be worth it to use the dungeon supports. Because, like, we can actually make them now. Well, okay. If we spend 2,000 more science, we can actually make them. I don't know if that's worth it. But it's an option. Just 3? Or honestly, yeah, even with USB, it sometimes takes more than 3. I've never understood that. Oh. Whew, that was close. I wasn't sure if we still had it on our hotbar. I was worried we wouldn't catch it in time. Okay, we'll just leave that wall there. We'll go back and remove it later. Okay, inventory's full again. Awesome. Yeah, this is mostly just to clear my inventory. What's weird is I think I actually have something I'm filtering out. I feel like I'm filtering out uranium in particular. So if I don't know what happens if the wrong thing goes through. Like if we actually put a coin on here. Actually, coins are filtered. So the only thing that can break it is like a belt. That's fine. Never mind. Kind of like talking to myself there. I wasn't sure how we set this up. If it had protection from any wrong resource or if it was just the wrong ore. Bonus points for trying to plug the USB into an RJ45 or Type-C into Type A. Honestly, I feel like that happens surprisingly often. Oh wait, that's supposed to be there. Like whenever you're trying to plug something into the back of your computer without looking, it's very easy to just completely place into the wrong port entirely. It's like, oh, this isn't even USB. This is an Ethernet. Whoops. No wonder why it wasn't working. Okay, we see the smoke. You know what? I'm very happy that we've switched to lamps. Lamps actually make this noticeably better. Not a huge margin, but better for sure. Because they make it a lot easier to see the smoke whenever things inevitably fail. Cool. Thanks, Nightbot. I don't know why I thank my bot. I feel like it deserves 3 things when it actually catches spam. Because it's had a lot going through it recently. Okay, everything seemed to be fine. You're fortunate that you have a case where the back of the motherboard is at the top. I really wish I had a different case, because that sounds fantastic. Okay, so if we upgrade this to a red belt... No, if we upgrade this one to a red belt, and this one to also a red belt... I don't know why I thought I could get away without upgrading both of them. That's crazy talk. Okay, and then we go into a red splitter. I think everything's good. Now this can go over here, and then connect there, and then we can just shift these to the left, I guess. Perfect. And then we don't really need the double splitter, I don't think. Yeah, it's already filtered. Okay, so this won't actually give me any more production yet, but it will eventually, and that's what matters. The only downside is dust falls into it easier. Oh, when you wrote dust, I was thinking you were talking about the Factorio mod with the dust, and I was like, it's not that ugly. It doesn't happen that often. Yeah, at least it's... I just wish my case was more accessible. And yeah, the walls do keep things from caving in. I don't know how often I have to place them, but I think this is pretty close to the density I need. It is pushing it because I feel like I don't have a ton of flexibility for removing one, but the only way that we could improve that, I think, would be if we switch to medium power poles. Yeah, I wish... Actually, I guess it's not that I necessarily wish my case was better. I wish that I had... Oh gosh, this is going to be annoying to upgrade, isn't it? Yeah, we're going to be upgrading this for a while. I wish I had a larger desk so that way I could place my PC like on the desk. Because if I ever have to plug in a wire on the back, it's awful. It is very much a lot of work because it's like basically at the foot of my desk. Okay, so I don't know if we're going to be able to tell if this worked. Because we're kind of just assuming that the upgrade went fine. And usually I look at it and see if there's any dots up here. But I think we're going to have to be a little bit more meticulous this time. And make sure that the dots are also near undergrounds. Otherwise, I don't think we can assume that they're solid. It also has a weird layout because when you built it, you wanted it that way. That's a good reason. It's like I liked it when I got it type of thing. That's how I feel about my Factorium bases. Okay, that seems fine. And then we need a couple more splitters. And then I think we're good. Okay. It needs a compressor, though. We somehow got rid of the compressing aspect of it. Yeah, I wasn't entirely sure if this would be designed to use red belts, which is why we just have to go in and upgrade it now, much later. Because it's like one of those things where these will last a while, but don't know if it's enough. Also, we somehow ran out of belts. That is unfortunate. We were so close to the end. Yeah, like theoretically, this patch lasts like 5 hours if we were to use red belt. But on the other hand, we could also just get more patches and use yellow belt, so I don't know. And have more production, but it's hard to say which is better at this point. I can say that we didn't finish the lane, though. that much I know for sure. But yeah, basically, we can either have the patches last twice as long and get twice as many of them, but then we never have to worry about time, or we potentially just have to go move this to a different patch later. Actually, this isn't a great patch to double up because it only has 99k. This one will be a lot better. Magic Drill's level 3. Still don't know what that means. Still have no idea what Magic Drills means. Still need some love, though, as it doesn't actually have proper radiator mounts or a side panel. What are you using instead of that? Is it just like, is the radiator just kind of like sitting there? Okay, it's gonna take a while, I think, for this to get all of the iron it needs, latency-wise. It should be a full belt. Am I miscounting? I'm confused. Ah. Okay. I think there is a, yep, there it is. It's good until the very end. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's pretty easy to tell where the belt goes down to yellow. I like how it was 2 spots at the very end, though. Like, nothing in this long stretch got messed up. Which actually worked out nicely. We're just going to not bother fixing those for a while. We do need more yellow belt, and we need probably more undergrounds. The ones for the graphics card are just taped in, and the one for the CPU has a mount that's a little janky. I like that. I like the jank. That's fun. The only thing I think particularly janky about my setup is my headphone rack. Is just a pair of... I cannot think of the word. It's a cheap pair of clamps. Like workshop clamps. I just have that clamp to my desk and I drape my headphones on it instead of getting like an actual headphone hook. It works really well. It looks awful. Like it's a bright yellow rubber. You know, like most workshop things are. It feels very out of place. But aside from that, I love it. It honestly works better than headphone hooks. Because it actually has like a large spot you can put your headphones on. Yeah, we take those. I feel like halfway up the line we need to go back and fix what it missed. Oh, I'm so glad we got that upgrade. Ah, is that what I missed? I feel like there's still a yellow belt here. Yep. But yeah, we have a lot of personal laser defenses, so any of the random spawns just get absolutely decimated. Okay, these are backing up. Oh, because the lane's already backed up. That's fine. Then we're filtering out the resources at the end. So the only thing we're missing here is the compressors being fast splitters, which we really should automate. The bold side panel is just because the motherboard tray came out of a pre-built, so the case isn't wide enough for the coolant tubes out of the graphics card. Nice. I mean, hey, you work with what you go with what works, right? Does that work? Yes, it's a little bit janky. Whatever, it technically compresses stuff. We can't argue that it doesn't. That isn't exactly how I wanted it to work, but I completely miscounted the amount of lanes I had here, and I just went with it. Okay, and then this one probably has a lot of drills, right? No, it does not. This is the most useless one I could have upgraded. Cool. I definitely should have looked before I built it. Okay, we don't need to go. We don't need to get all of them, I don't think. And we might as well. It's not that expensive to upgrade them all to red belt. Makes them get taken from more evenly. Okay, I think everything's good. Okay, so now I just need to consume the iron. And that should be difficult. I was gonna say it should be easy, but we need to get the iron down here. Which is quite far. I think we actually need to go look at the surface, because I have no guesses on how we can set this up. Honestly, I'm not sure if it's worth fixing the ones that are broken. I feel like the iron lane mostly runs. Okay, that can filter out everything. Okay, so where do we need iron? That's what really matters, right? So theoretically, this is iron limited. So this is something that could use more iron. This could be upgraded with a red belt. Oh, why is my hand wet? Oh, I set my water in a weird spot, so it got some condensation on the table, and I was very confused. Okay, let's find another splitter, and by find I mean make one, because they're not, automated. So I think the issue is that, well, one, this isn't a fast loader. And then two, this is a yellow belt. Okay. The irony of it all being iron, exactly. Okay, I guess that's okay. Technically works. Technically works, awesome. My favorite kind of functional. Okay, this one doesn't actually need to be upgraded, but I broke a lot of stuff with that. Where was coal even coming from? Coal was coming from the top, okay. Yeah, I kind of was hoping Smart Belt would work for me there. It didn't. That's what I get for trusting it. Never trust Smart Belt. It doesn't end well, usually. Okay, now this should be split into all the lanes it needs to be, and just because the balance is really weird, we're going to keep upgrading them at least this far. Feel like there's an underground there that wasn't supposed to be there, but that's fine. But yeah, we have stuff being split off in weird spots, so I wanted to make sure it worked. Okay, so it looks like we do speed up our base if we can upgrade iron. This is kind of split off a bit too many times. I think we should theoretically be getting two iron lanes over here. But we're not gonna worry about that. For now, we just need two more iron lanes to connect here. In a DIY building, a bold side panel may get difficult, as it may require vacuum forming it. Can you just make like a... I don't know, does it need to be bulged? Can you just buy like a acrylic dome? I don't know if that would work. Wait. Wait, does it just drop rotations entirely? Is that what Spinning World does? I thought it was only for inserters. That's the only thing I can see that looks like it might be related to rotations that could cause a problem. But yeah, I didn't realize that regular stuff could be rotated incorrectly. Huh. Okay, that's probably what Spinning World is. I just assumed it was a combination, some weird interaction with dancing inserters. So that's why it's painful. It all makes sense now. It was designed to make me suffer. Who would have thought? Can we spaghetti through this? I think we can. I believe. No, I believe in my ability to spaghetti, especially if we delete these, because we don't get coal from over there anymore. You refuse to bend the tubes that far in to fit a flat side panel. Yeah, I like the idea about just making a new side panel instead of like trying to make the tubes work. Oh, it sounds more like something I would do. It's literally the IRL version of spaghetti, so I can't not approve of that kind of choice, right? Like it's perfect. Okay, so that's one of the iron lanes. That was fairly easy to connect. A second one should also be relatively straightforward. Ah, unfortunate. Okay, so far so good, except I'm completely out of ideas of how to get it over here. Okay, never mind, still good. Still good, and pretty close to done. Awesome. I think we can safely say that was a success. Except for that stuff, but there's not much we can do about that. There we go. I didn't want to pull out my gun for that. It would have been easier. I probably should have. I don't know how iron got on this side of the belt. I think from the cave-in. Yeah, probably from the cave-in. And then this can connect... Well, that can connect there. It doesn't really matter which is which. Okay, and then once again, we need logic. We're using red wire, which we don't have. But that is very easy to craft completely by hand as long as you just have copper. And then just to make it that way you keep less than like 500 iron in there. It doesn't make a huge difference, but it's just in case I forget to like filter coal. Because like most of the things have stack filters, but some of them don't. To limit them. And we just want to make sure it can at least hold a couple stacks of everything at any given point. But other than that, I think that looks pretty solid. Let's see, where's a resource drop point? Okay, that'll filter everything for me. These ones, I don't really care where they go. This is just like a giant filtering system. But since these aren't used for assembling machines, I don't really care if they have a buffer. Though I would like it to have a few more resources. But yeah, this gives us 8 iron belts. This gives us 8 yellow belts worth of iron. Plus whatever we had in the main base, which was 10. So theoretically, this is more iron than I have normally. Like twice as much iron as I normally use to launch a rocket. Of course, things are more expensive, so, you know, we have other bottlenecks, so it doesn't actually end up better. But hey, it's a start. It looks like we're actually plastic limited still. Like, very significantly plastic limited. Wow, the plastic internal buffer... Wait, is the plastic internal buffer like 60? No, I just hand fed it. Okay, also these, only about half of them work due to rotations. Rotation errors. But at least it's a good start. Okay, so how can we improve plastic? That's really what it comes down to. Now, because of the way we're splitting it half and half, I think if we do a short stretch of red belt, I think it works a little bit better. So if we do a red belt here... Yeah, rotation errors, definitely. At least these ones, it's not my fault. That makes it feel a little bit better. Not a ton better, but a little bit for sure. Underground, and then I guess we can just... I was gonna make this an underground, but we didn't have any. Okay. Yeah, we just need to go through and fix all of them, I think. And I think the easiest way to do that is by hand. Okay, let's do all of the inputs first. I like how the inputs, anytime they're rotated wrong, they always grab coins. Oh, we tried to fix the wrong one there. Okay, and then one more up top. Okay, so that should be good. I think we're lacking on copper. So what we're gonna do is upgrade it to a red belt. So that... What was that? That was bizarre. I guess smart belt mixed with the... Yeah, I guess smart belt mixed with the permanence mod can cause some weird issues where it just voids belt entirely but doesn't replace it. I don't know. That was... I haven't really seen that before. I didn't like it. Okay. Now we can do the out. Let's do the rest of the inputs. See, these seem good. It's a lot easier to tell where inputs are when the thing is actually running, but yeah, we can't really guarantee it runs. Wait, which one's input? Red belt is output, yellow belt is input. Okay. Input, input. At least it's kind of easy to see. Like, we can see the rectangle that it creates. So, like, if we just look at the pattern on the ground, it's definitely easier than trying to look at the actual inserters. So it's really just a pattern recognition game. Okay. I don't know how much more we'll get out of this, because we are still incredibly plastic limited, but at least less plastic limited. Oh my gosh, wait. I see. I see. I think I know why we're plastic limited. What? How did they do that? Is it like only certain recipes are more expensive? That's the only recipe that's more expensive. I'm pretty sure. Why? What? How did they do that? Hold on, what's the low density structure Factorio? What's the expensive recipe? Okay, so this is the expensive mode recipe, but this is the only thing that has the expensive mode recipe on it, which is really weird. Like, everything else, I don't think has expensive mode on it. At least nothing I've seen. Yeah, why do you just have to have this one? Oh, wait, this one has expensive mode on. Okay, some of them have swapped to expensive mode. Interesting. Maybe expensive mode is different than I thought. Okay, so yeah, all of our ratios are going to be a little bit weird. It's fixable. I actually don't really know expensive mode recipes. Maybe they've all been expensive. It's like they're changing as I look at them, because now they just look all different. Now I'm really confused. Oh, maybe less things are expensive than I thought. You told me last time that steel is 20, and it wasn't though. When you told me that, it wasn't. So, like, it's changed since then. And I don't know how. I thought that was one of those things you couldn't change mid-game. But yeah, last time you told me there's expensive recipes, they literally weren't. Okay. Plastic's not that hard. At least. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't see changes that weren't there last time I checked. Can't... What's wrong with me? Which one causes that, though? Switches back and forth? Is that possible? I thought there was like a limitation in Factorio that just made that not possible. We can't, oh, we can't upgrade this with a yellow belt. The iceberg causes it? Oh yeah, the iceberg causes it. The iceberg causes us to hallucinate. Okay, so I think we might just set our goal to getting purple science, and then we might call it for this run. I'm not sure. I don't really... I think we're running out of things to do here that are interesting. I don't really know if I want to just wait for like 10 hours for things to research. I might leave it running overnight and just not actually play. That's an option. Like turn it into an idle game. I doubt I'll actually stream the rest of this, because I don't think that's interesting for anyone involved if we have to research expensive mode plus 10 times marathon. Actually, no, it's like 15 times marathon. Yeah, that's another option. How do we change that? Is that just a console command I can run? Yeah, that's probably a better option. But yeah, I am not opposed to changing it, because it's either that or we just stop playing entirely. Just because it's one of those things where like there's not really much I can do to expand, because by the time I expand, the run will be done, because it takes so long to expand. But yeah, we'll set something up first, see how things are going. Don't know how that got wire on it. And then we could just drop that here. Now I'm just paranoid about costs. Okay, so how do we get more plastic? Oh, actually, honestly, we can't really get more plastic, can we? Actually, no, we have enough oil. I think these are just pipe limited, actually. Why did it think that was a link? But I got it, thank you. Yeah, I don't know, yeah, I don't see a world where we don't use that, actually. We'll just type it. Okay. Oh, right. Does this bring it back to vanilla? Roughly? Yeah, okay. I am perfectly okay with that. Okay, let's see, how's our wall holding up? Perfect. Plastic is still a very extreme bottleneck. We can do more, though, since we have landfill. Okay, let's go set up more refineries, since I think those are our bottlenecks now. Yeah. Okay, where do we keep the landfill? We don't actually have a ton of landfill for me to be filling an entire lake, but I guess it will mostly work. Okay, and I'm still unsure if the silo cost changes. I've never known that when it comes to, like, research. Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. But with, like, the tech multipliers, does it do anything to the rocket launches? Like, just out of curiosity. Because, like, on the one hand, it's not technically, like, it's only kind of a science. Maybe it increases the satellite? Or maybe space science just isn't. I guess it doesn't need to increase the cost of the science, just the researches. It would be the expensive mode that would change this one. Just a little red. Just ignore this. There's absolutely nothing here that's causing slowdowns anymore, other than now that change has been done. This is correct. That is the only thing this mod altered. Okay, does this work? Okay, I think I want at least... Oh, this is taking a while. Is there any other steel I can take? I don't know why we're not producing enough steel. Oh wait, right, because steel cost got doubled. That's why we're not producing enough steel. Yeah, that would do it. Kind of forgot about that already. Okay, so that's 10. We need more bricks. We need more gears. Okay, I think this is fine. So this would be 15 oil refineries. If that isn't enough... Actually, it might not be enough. That's really not a ton of oil refineries. It's a lot more when we consider the fact that it is basic processing, or not advanced processing, but it still feels like not that much. On the right side, this is one of the few things I can build with bots. So I'm happy about that. There are not many designs I can build entirely with bots because of the whole inserter thing. I'm scared for the researchers to go through like really fast and unlock even worse things now that now that they're going through. It might backfire. Although I feel like there aren't that many changes it can lock at this point. Okay, how many is this? That is a little bit more, and then we can double-side it over here. And then we can fit more cracking up there. Okay, we should be good. Double oil. Hopefully this solves our plastic issue. I wonder if plastic also is just more expensive. I don't really know. I don't know the plastic recipe. I'm just paranoid that these change now, so I'm gonna like keep looking at them and be like, oh nope, they're still the same. And we'll never know. I'm just glad I know what it feels like to be gaslit now, I guess. I don't know if that's a good thing. Probably not. But at least I know. Will this work? I think so, yeah. And then it doesn't matter which one is which, we're just gonna connect it lazily for now. We'll add water at some other point. Okay. I don't know why that pipe was there. I'm sure it has a reason for being there. Wait, am I using the right side of the belt? The right side of the machine? I think so. I didn't double check. Actually, I'm using the left side of the machine. Technically, I'm using the left side of the machine. Correct side. There you go. That's a better distinction. And then where can we get an offshore pump? I don't know, so I'm just going to take water from here. We probably can make an offshore pump. We just don't really have any resources on us. Okay, I actually made these all basic oil processing. Wait, does that mean if I copied them from here? Okay, it means this one wasn't upgraded. That makes sense then. I was worried that I somehow was doing basic everywhere and just now noticed. But I think I'm a little bit more observant than that. Then again, the whole expensive recipes debacle makes me question literally everything. So who really knows anymore? Can this work? I think this can work. Yeah. I think this gives us enough heavy oil cracking, because heavy oil cracking ratio, it's pretty significant. Like it's like a 1 to like 20 or something. I don't think you need a ton of heavy oil cracking. It might not be that high, but it is pretty high. 4 should be enough. These aren't working, and that's because they are not connected in the middle. And then we definitely need more light oil cracking, which we can probably fit here somehow. Oh my gosh, it fits perfectly. I was not expecting that to fit. Very happy it does. I don't know exactly how we're going to clear the gap. Never mind, it's very easy to clear the gap. Okay. That should work. Don't know how that gap was left out. Okay, I think that looks okay. Now we shouldn't have any trouble cracking. Okay, I'm happy with that. We did not, it looks like we did not connect the petroleum all the way through somehow. Easy fix. Definitely an easy fix. Okay. Double petroleum. Just can't wait until we have crude oil issues now because of that. Oh yeah, right. I forgot. We have mining productivity times 10, so this is basically an infinite amount of oil. I was worried that the 3000 was going to run out, but when it's 10 times the production, it's not gonna. Okay, are we out of researches? I think we're out of researches. I guess we can get lab speed. Because we haven't set up purple science yet. Because I'm too busy expanding plastic. Because this is so expensive. Okay, so petroleum's good. I think we need more coal. Although we might be mining enough coal. It's hard to say. But if we upgrade this with red belt, I think the world looks nicer. So let's see, we need a loader. We need a loader, we probably need a splitter. And then we need red belts all the way through. And this should get us maybe not enough plastic, but more plastic. Okay. We don't... realizing we don't really have space. I guess I could do plastic here. Yeah, we kind of ran out of space. Oh, plastic down at the bottom. That would be good. Never mind, I think I found a spot. Yeah, the thing I'm concerned with plastic is I don't think... Basically, my big issue with it is we can't have a good way to increase the throughput of it within the lane itself. So we're going to have to do some weird, awkward supplemental thing that, like, cuts through the base. Or maybe we just cut it and split it in half. Because, yeah, I've never actually seen the expensive recipe before. I've no guesses on how one sets up a build for it. Okay, where are chemical plants? We still have not automated them. See, anything new? Have we gone through everything? We might have gone through everything. I'm not entirely sure how the unlocks work. I don't know if it's based on certain techs or if it's based on number of techs. Then we're trying to get chem plants right now. We're still out of steel. Which is where I don't know what's using all of our steel. It might just be that we're producing half as much as we used to. I don't think it's actually, like, being consumed or anything. It's more just not being produced is a better way of phrasing that. We need some more pipe, we need some chem plants. My nose is really stuffed. I might have to wrap it up soon. I was hoping to get to purple today. Actually, I guess my goal is technically more plastic and yellow. So this was my goal for the day. I just wanted to get a little bit more than that, but it's getting hard to speak. The allergy, it's definitely allergy season right now, and my nose is incredibly stuffed up. I have to talk in a really weird way because of that too. Would not recommend. I'm like, how am I trying to set this up? There we go. Plastic on the inside. Makes a lot more sense. Input. I'm so glad that these rotations are wrong constantly. It makes it very easy to work with. Let's see, plastic. And then, can we do another one here? I think we can. Okay. Oh, they're actually correct. That's nice. That means it's something we can copy. So we need to copy this a fourth time, or second time. Make sure the inserters are vaguely correct. Don't think they are. They're pretty close. They're pretty close. I think we only messed up one inserter here. And we can save power poles, although I don't think it really matters. Okay. And now we can copy it and flip it. Actually, we're not really going to be able to flip it because it has a chem plant, but we just need to flip the output inserters for the plastic. Send those the other way, and then I think everything's good. And I'm pretty sure this can't output onto the wrong belt. So if it is messed up, it's not completely broken, just a little bit broken. Then this needs to become an underground. And then this goes, let's see, right side of the belt is what it outputs on, so it would be here. Yeah. Okay, lots more plastic. We'll decrease this size, cut through a lot more easily this time. And then, oh, we need to actually connect. We should probably connect the crude. Huh. Or, no, not crude, petroleum gas. Okay. I think that's fine. I think everything technically works. It's just not that great. Because the LDS is still broken. Okay, so yeah, we just need to change LDS. How fast do these consume plastic? Well, I guess first things first, if we saturate the belts at the top. That'll make it run a little bit better for free, and then we can worry about how we're going to sideload to LDS. Like right here, this should give us a full belt. Do these need long inserters or fast inserters? These might need fast inserters. Oh my gosh, they need fast inserters. This is weird. This is so bizarre. I would have redesigned it if I knew that was a thing. Okay, at least upgrading them mostly works. I say mostly because they can still be misrotated during upgrades, but it's a lot more obvious when it does it. But yeah, it's still problematic. Okay, you know what? I just realized the easiest fix is to swap which ones are red belts. That's all we have to do. That doubles our LDS production pretty easily. Yep, that's all we need to do. Well, not all we need to do, but it's a good start. Okay, that's the wrong output. This is the wrong output. Okay, spinning world is really funny. I actually, it's frustrating, but at the same time, I really like how I never know which direction the inserters are gonna place things. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I don't know why it didn't occur to me to just delete belts initially, but hey, we are not the best at thinking sometimes. Always. Very rarely, actually. We're not bright. Okay, at least the auto placements, I'm getting used to them. I just kind of look at it as a reminder that I still need to place something, which I know doesn't really make much sense, but I mean, what else am I gonna do, right? So whenever it just randomly places something, I just kind of accept my fate. And it's like, oh yeah, that is what I was gonna place next. Thanks for reminding me, game. Underground. Let's see, how's my internet been? My internet's been okay today. It was a bit weird yesterday. We're trying like the 5G internet for now. So it's kind of, I don't know. Like it's less stable, but on the other hand, my internet was never really stable in the first place. So I don't know if it's like actually less stable. It's hard to say. Because like my old internet also used to just stop working like anytime someone sent like a Facebook message or like an image anywhere. Oh, that was the wrong thing. Yes, yeah. Yes, you're very welcome. Or you're very much thanked for that. Even though it's gaslighting me, it's fun. Okay, this one still needs the upgrade to fast inserters, doesn't it? Yes. Which still feels weird to use fast inserters to get plastic into LDS, but that's what we're doing. Input. Okay, it's not too bad if I spam click. If I spam click, I can guarantee it's placed a lot better. There we go. Okay, yeah, this is looking up promising. Perfect. Okay. Wow, these really do drain the lane pretty fast. Looks like we can probably, if we cut the lane about halfway through, like right here, I think we can sideload plastic onto it without any major issue. That's probably our best bet for how to get plastic through here. And I chose literally the only spot where we can't get plastic over there. Like, this is the only spot that I can't afford can't get an underground through. I mean, technically I can, and I will. But we could have put it one assembly machine over. It wouldn't have really made a difference. Actually, we might be taking steel from that later, so I'm actually going to go the long way around. Because we need to make sure it kind of works. Okay. We're out of red belts, but that's fine, I think. Okay, there we go. So now we can grab steel from this later if we need it. I think if we just send that here, And then we send the other one. I guess if we cut the rest of the middle, things look a lot nicer too. Like if we cut this one and sideload it up there, I think everything's fine. Yeah, I think this does what I want it to. This is gonna prio right though. Yeah, this one needs to prio right. Okay, pretty sure everything's on the correct side of the belt for that. These are getting plastic much better. It does make a lot of sense now, because I saw this earlier, that there is 60 plastic in an LDS, and I just wrote it off as that was something I manually did. Just out of habit, but it turns out it was actually something that happened. It was real. I didn't make it up. But I thought I just hand-fed plastic, because I couldn't think of any other reason why it could get 60 plastic. How times sure have changed. I feel like we still have plastic backed up, and it doesn't make sense. Oh, that's why, because this belt hasn't finished building yet. Okay, so now we just have way too large of an LDS buffer, but that's okay. And then these are going to take a long time to catch up, but that's fine. So that means we can get started on prod modules, which I guess they're fairly vanilla. I think that's the vanilla recipe. It's just the inputs aren't. Like the red chips and the green chips are a different recipe, but the rest of it are fairly vanilla. I don't know what I just deleted. Oh, that's what I deleted. Why aren't these running? Oh, we're out of green chips. I thought we fixed green chips. Oh, right. We did fix green chips, and then they got twice as expensive. Yeah, no, that tracks. The world does make more sense now. Don't really know if there's much we can do about that at this point. The real question is, do we have extra red chips? And the answer to that is kind of. Technically, yes. But not that many extra. There we go. That's pretty much the gist of it there. Okay, let's loop around, just because I see more space down here to work with for this spaghetti. And now we cut through LDS. Perfect. That's reasonable. I've made worse things. And then we're not going to worry about RCUs, I don't think. I just want to get purple science set up. So we're just going to do prod modules, and then we can eventually switch them to other modules. Okay, so modules, inserter. I guess these ones can be blue and yellow inserters. Am I? I mean, I do want to sideload them. Not there, though. Thank you. But yeah, I do technically want to sideload them, just not at that point. I actually want to sideload them way later, like here. Good catch. I'm glad not everyone's out to get me. I still remember that someone gave me a suggestion once and then immediately regretted helping me with this run because it made it that I didn't suffer as much. And I will hold that. I don't know if grudge is the right word, but I'll remember. Might want to clean up the belt. Yeah, I didn't really see which one it was sideloading. I guess technically it's just going to make it that we don't get purple science, right? We'll be fine. We're going to forget about it. We're going to wonder why half our labs are running later. But it will make sense eventually. We could just do a filter inserter at the end. That will eventually clear it out. Okay, so this is not a lot of copper. Or this is not a lot of circuits. Oh wait, are these more expensive? No, but I feel like they're working worse though. But yeah, we're not getting enough. Okay, we're somehow not getting enough copper. That's actually weird to me. We do technically have copper. However, it's not on the correct spot, is it? Oh, wait, maybe we don't. Oh, we might not have copper. It's one of those things where we thought we had copper, and then it turns out we didn't because LDS started running. Okay, so I see the issue. I would like to speed this up as well, so I think I would like to supplement it with another lane somehow. This is gonna be weird, but it works. It doesn't have a ton of purpose yet, but it will. It will maybe have purpose. This is just to make it that I can get copper from here, which is just a little bit easier to work with. Wait, this is the wrong kind of loader. We have that loading into a red belt, and it's not even a red loader. Oh, why can't I build that? Oh, I'm out of red belt. That makes sense. The red loader needs red belt. Yeah, that tracks. Okay. Red loader will make... We can only make one of them, really? Okay, I guess we just need a lot of other junk, too. Okay, we're literally out of, like, everything. This isn't working as fast as... Oh, right. I keep forgetting. Anywhere we have circuits is literally just producing half as fast. Like, just straight up half as fast. Actually, less than half as fast. Because copper cables got boosted by 2.5. So yeah, we just lost like almost 60%. Roughly 60% of our production there. Yeah, that tracks. And then this I'm going to regret this. But I think it's worth it. So let's make this do speed modules or prod modules. That way we can use the recipe later. And then this can do blacklist. That way it can't do the wrong thing. So I'm going to regret this because that makes it cost like 4 extra circuits for every inserter, which when you're producing very few circuits is bad. But it makes it that I can't accidentally sideload stuff on or output onto the wrong side of the belt, which is very nice. That kind of makes up for it. Yeah, I think if it had started earlier, having my whole base designed around it would have been cool. I think at this point, there's not that much I need to redesign that it's really worth it. Except like a new green chip build that I'm about to set up. Well, I guess we redesigned LDS. So I guess we have done that. All right, we have changed some things already. I don't get why this isn't a full belt. Oh, we never actually ended up producing enough petroleum. Oh, that's why. Well, that might not be the only reason, but it's part of why. Cracking also wasn't fully set up. We don't have enough heavy oil cracking. And we're out of chem plants, so there's a there's a lot of issues there. Okay. Refinery. And then I think speed modules here would be very helpful. I might just handcraft some speed modules. We're out of crack. That's one way to put it. Okay, I guess we can just buffer these up here. We don't really use prod modules for much, but at least they're there. And then since I want speed modules, I guess we can just handcraft. Yeah, we can probably just handcraft them. Although we're going to have power issues soon. Okay, at least yellow science is... Honestly, yellow science works really well. I say that, but I'm actually very wrong. It's working way less than I thought it was because so many of these machines are inactive. I just counted like 12 machines up and assumed 12 were running. That was not the case. Okay, so we can upgrade this real quick. Very easy to do. Base is being a little bit eaten, but that's okay. Okay, so I decided that I want copper to come from here. I don't know why. I feel like that's a mistake, but like up here, it doesn't make a ton of difference. In the underneath, though, it makes a lot of difference where the copper comes from, because it's so much easier to connect copper to the second tunnel. We do not want to go there. That is like the one spot it can't go through, actually, because that's where purple science is going to be. Can I fit this through here without the radar? Yes, it looks like I have plenty of space to hook it up. Okay. That should be a-okay. And then these are not actually red belts either. And now they're placed the wrong way. Perfect. Just what I wanted. I wonder what else has changed. I haven't really had a chance to look at most of the recipes. A lot of them are just like twice as expensive in like everything, it seems. But, like LDS is only more expensive in, pretty sure it was only more expensive in plastic. Which I guess makes sense, because that's the one part of LDS that's basically not expensive already. Like, the copper is kind of hard to get. But it's not like the plastic is ever hard to get in LDS. So I could see why they boosted that one by, I'm pretty sure, like 6 times over. And then didn't change anything else. The crafting time also looked like it was different, but I'm pretty sure I was imagining that one. I don't actually know the crafting time of LDS. I picture it as 30 seconds, but I think that's just because that's what some other things cost at that point in time. Okay, there is a transport belt here. Awesome. Okay, so a steel lane. I have a really dumb idea for steel. Because, like, direct feeding is a really fun way to make a steel lane. What if I could direct feed two steel furnaces, or 2 iron furnaces into steel? That would be really fun. It doesn't sound like a good option, but I could do it. Also, we're probably very low. Red belts are really expensive now, I'm realizing. Because they straight up cost twice the iron, at least. Which is pretty significant. Okay, where did we get lose track? I guess we can just do an underground there. I was wondering why the undergrounds weren't placing. Or why it wasn't smart belting over the gaps. That makes a lot more sense now. Okay, and then splitters, I guess we can just grab from the gear chest. Wow, this is not working. We just stopped producing iron. Okay, that's a whole different problem. I don't know what the source of it, but that is definitely an entirely different problem that we have to solve. Okay, I think that will help a little bit. And then once we get a new copper... Well, actually, do we need a new copper lane, or do we just need to fix the one we have? No, we just need a new copper lane. Okay. If I had to guess, we probably ran out of one, because we had one down here that only had like 10,000 copper. Although we connected to this one far away, right? So if we can upgrade this one in the correct spot, I think things can work. Yeah, we should have plenty of copper. It's just not distributed well. Okay, so why did this stop running? Stone. Really? Okay. I guess that makes sense. Because stone's not really being consumed. And then we also had just a coal buffer, which I don't think was that large. Actually, no, the coal buffer isn't the problem. We are actually consuming enough coal. So it looks like the issue is just we backed up completely on stone. So if we take a splitter here and somehow turn it into landfill, I think we're good. The issue is I can't really get a belt in here for landfill, can I? Oh, okay, I see. We're turning stone into bricks, but we're not turning it into landfill. That explains so much. That explains why we weren't getting a ton of landfill, but we still had backed up bricks. I didn't really second guess it, because it seemed kind of normal, because I was so used to being short on landfill. This is going to be a very manual fix, but it will work. Of course, it's rotated the wrong way, because why would it not? Nothing to do with the mod, just weird. That just has to do with weird placements with belts. I'm going to blame the mod still, though. Okay. That placed correctly, surprisingly. Yeah, this is one of the most expensive ways I could have done this, but hey, it works. Well, I say it works, but I'm still building it, and it's still very slow. Perfect. If only we could use bots for this. I mean, actually, we might be able to use bots for that one. I probably could have just deconstructed the entire belt just fine. Okay, I think that's fine. And then landfill needs to be consumed. down here, I think, in the second train. The second network. Okay, so if we just send this here, I think everything's good. Pretty sure it fixes the problem. Yes. Okay, everything should be fine now. But yeah, we just were losing a ton of iron because we had backed up all of the stone we possibly could. Which makes sense. There's like a random stone patch in the middle of both of these. Just like a really small amount, which just makes that every now and then we only mine stone and nothing else. But it should sort itself out fairly quickly. It just has a little bit of a backlog to go through. Like right here, this is mining exclusively stone and iron for a bit. Then it should be okay. Or it was mining exclusively stone and iron. Surprised the chest... We don't have a chest buffer anyway, though. I guess we got rid of it whenever we set up the recycling, because I thought the recycling was actually done properly. How could I make such a silly mistake? No, that sounds very in line. Okay, it's definitely going to take a bit to clear, but there's not a ton I can do about that, is there? So if we upgrade this to a yellow belt, or a red belt, maybe things get a little bit better. But we're not consuming bricks, so that doesn't actually help. If we side balance it, though, that fixes things a little bit better. That makes it empty twice as fast, at least. Honestly, once we burn through the backlog, it should be fine. Like it already looks like it's picking up. We just had a little bit of time to kill there. Okay, so let's figure out why this copper here is not getting to where it needs to go. If I had to guess, we just need to upgrade one of these to a fast loader and then upgrade the belt. And then we should be able to fix it. And we just need to be very mindful of anything saying, hey, this is invulnerable. Because if not, I don't know, we'll have a gap and none of our fixes will work. Okay, so far so good. Ooh, that's weird. That's really bizarre. Upgrading half the lane, I don't like that. I think that's the first time we've ever actually ran into that issue in upgrading a belt. Like, I know it's bound to happen at some point, but it feels bizarre. Okay, and then we just put this into a fast splitter. I now see why this lane wasn't running full speed, though. We never upgraded, we never gave it a second lane of copper. We also could have connected this one to it. We had lots of options. Okay, this is only there's a yellow belt somewhere here. This is only half of a lane. Okay, so we just need to follow it and see where the density drops. Wait, what is this? I think that is better. Yes, yeah, because this was taken from the wrong side. Okay, so this looks like it also has a yellow belt somewhere in it, though. So density seems pretty high, density seems pretty high. Looks like it's right here. Okay, that's an easy fix. So this has a fast loader, this has a fast loader. They're getting 2 lanes of copper. Awesome. And the reason we're filtering through this is just in case this has some mixed mining. For the most part, this should be pure copper, but using these as a filter is a lot better. Also realizing now that I probably should have just put a tunnel up here and used it as a giant chest filter. Although it does have some issues. It's kind of hard to place a tunnel when the entire section above it is a lake. There's only so much you can do there. Okay, I'm just glad the stone is finally emptying itself, though. We might be... I just realized we're kind of making a giant loop. Because most of this stone actually comes from down here. So we're sending it up and then sending it all the way back down. And just anytime there's surplus, we just turn it into landfill. So this is a little bit cyclical. But, I mean, it does the job, and that's what matters. And then we're about to set up a giant, I guess, rail system. Not rail system, but we're going to start consuming rails and more stone, so I don't think it's going to be a problem for much longer. Okay, so I don't know what expensive recipes look like for these. That looks the same. That looks the same. That looks the same. So purple science, theoretically, we can just do the fun any percent design, right? We just, they're just going to be inserters placed the wrong direction. We're going to make this purple science as well. They're going to add purple science to this. So that way we can just copy it. And then, because I can't change the recipe yet, and I'm feeling a little bit lazy. There we go. Because I think that plan of using the filter inserters is actually really good. It worked out quite well. These are kind of all going the wrong way. I think we can reverse it. I'm just going to reverse this. Because I would much rather it go this direction. There we go. I think that's fine. And then we can output onto this belt, and it is side-loaded. It is not side-loaded. Now it is side-loaded. Okay. Input, 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 input. And then long inserter. This is actually a terrible design. I'm realizing now. This is not a good design for what we need to do. It is a great design when inserters can't be built wrong. Absolutely terrible design when they can. I have very incredibly low hopes that this is going to work out. But hey, what if it does? That would be cool. I think we have to fix our stick machine, but other than that, this should copy pretty well. Let's do steel on the outside. We can do bricks and stone on the inside. And then sticks and red chips somewhere else. So we technically have red chips here. We don't have a ton of red chip production. But we do have some. That can go here, and then sticks can also go on this belt, and that shouldn't be a problem. Don't know how we disconnected power. Oh wait, we never had power. That makes sense. Okay, purple science. We have researched that, right? Yes. And then rails and electric furnaces. Okay, I don't think the order matters for that. Oh, once again, we have something on our hotbar. Wait, how did it get those? Are those in my inventory? Or can it... Now I can't really double check. I'm assuming it can only place... I wonder if it can place things from this tab. I don't know. I didn't get a good look on it, but it felt like it placed something that it wasn't supposed to, and it felt weird. I don't know how it got a blueprint. It's really questioning my sanity still. Okay, entities are being destroyed, so our base is doing fine. I'm so glad that we actually were smart enough to, build defenses, because we were questioning if we wanted them at some point. And boy, that would have been awful. Let's see, height of 6. It's ambitious of me to think I can run this. I'm just going to say that. It's very ambitious of me to think there's any chance we have enough resources for this. Okay, I think that works. Outside, yep. Okay, that's the correct side of the belt. Yeah, we have nowhere near enough resources for this. Okay, so we need bricks and stone over here. And then we need steel over here, which I guess steel can be a red belt. So that way we only have to connect one. Also ambitious of me to think I can get an entire belt, red belt of steel over here. Yeah, there's a lot of assumptions here that are not true at all. Let's see, that's not correct. Oh, we should be able to smart belt through it though. Yes, okay. Okay, so bricks and stone, and then steel. Awesome. How am I going to get that? That's the real question. Oh, this is getting stuff I don't think it's supposed to. Actually, you know what? Why don't we just pass it through the underground? That's not what I intended to do originally, but that's way easier. Because this one is so far, it's so far out there that it should be fairly easy to set up. Actually, it's hard to say, because on the one hand, there's nothing in the way. But on the other hand, the stuff that is in the way is just a whole bunch of rocks, which is also not great. I think we're going to take damage from this soon. Yeah, inventory's going to fill up. Oh, that's a cliff. I was wondering why I couldn't mine the rock. Because, like, that's the last thing I need is unmineable rocks. That would be slightly cruel. Although that would be funny. That would actually be really funny. I kind of wish that was part of the challenge now. They just make it that some rocks can't be destroyed no matter what you do. Along with having rocks everywhere. Very relentless combo. Okay, I think this is working. I actually probably want to put stone bricks and stone ore on this if I can. It's not called stone ore, is it? It's just called stone. Oh, well. It's basically stone ore. Okay, we're actually going to take from this one with a red loader. Not like I really think we need the throughput for that, but it makes it a little bit simpler in case I do. In case I do get more ambitious. There we go. I don't know how copper ended up on that belt, but not much we can do about that. And then for this one, you know, I guess that didn't do anything. I guess steel needs to be changed anyway. We don't really have space for this. Should I just get rid of the steel buffer? I think I can just get rid of the steel buffer, actually. Because we're about to start consuming it. And honestly, we should be passing steel through here anyway with a fast loader. Okay, so we can have bricks here and then stone as well. Bricks and stone? Where's stone? I think I set it up properly. That was supposed to be a red belt, but it's fine. Yeah, it's actually totally fine. Okay, we dragged the belt, but I don't know where we stopped it. Okay, so stone, I want to just stop here. This should work. Howdy, Lostnar. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, that's a running list of the changes. We have made a couple edits, so I'm going to actually cross out one of them. Marathon. Let's see, tech is way pricier. We removed that one, so I don't just AFK overnight. But other than that, the rest of them are still true. But yeah, we removed the marathon part of it because it was getting to the point where we probably would have stopped streaming the mod if we left it, because it wouldn't have been interesting content. So I didn't really want to. I don't know, didn't really have a ton of interest in playing through times 15 marathon plus expensive recipes, because that would have been like a 30 times increase in time, roughly, which was not ideal. But the rest of them are still there. We're still going strong with our suffering. 10 out of 10 recommend. At least this is hooked up properly. Okay, it looks like we got the wrong thing on our hotbar. There we go, and then we need to rotate around. I think we can clear this, although we did run out of belt. I don't know why I'm trying to keep it as a red belt, because this is a steel belt. Like, steel's pretty expensive, and it's 10 times more expensive now. So the fact that I think I can provide an entire red belt of steel is absolutely insane, but you know, one can dream. Ooh, that is actually bad. Hold up. Where is a flamethrower being damaged? Okay. That doesn't fix anything. The radar itself doesn't solve the problem, but it makes it more obvious for us to see the problem later, hopefully, if we remember. We probably won't. We usually don't. But you know, sometimes we remember things. I'd say about like one time in 20 we remember something. And it's usually wrong. It's a great use of memory. Okay, how do we do this? I think if we rotate these briefly, everything's good. Okay, that should work. And then steel as well. Okay, that's placed the wrong way. There we go. I wish... I don't know how they would distinguish between loaders, but I don't know. They don't make sense to me. Although looking at it, it should be pretty obvious. The one that's on the belt, the one that has the belt on it goes on the belt, but I always mess it up. Okay, perfect. This was not filtered. That was supposed to be filtered. Stone, bricks. Probably should have done this beforehand, but it's too late now. Okay, if I do that a little bit earlier, I think that works. I'm trying to not take up a ton of extra space if I can avoid it, and then this one can be steel. Okay, and then we can have a chest where we drop... That was the one spot I couldn't drop stuff into, where we drop the rest of our bricks and steel, so that way my inventory can be cleared. Okay, I think I am happy with this. We do need to clear an entire belt of copper, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Then I think that's where I wanted to connect steel. Okay, so the only thing we're missing over here is iron, and then we should start getting purple science. It's not a ton of purple science, mind you, but it is technically purple science. I don't understand how we're missing all of that stuff. I really don't understand that. I think it's because we're producing so much green science, which we no longer need to do anymore, so that should help. We can probably cut our buffers. What in the world is scenario? What did you do? Oh, it wasn't an April Fool's joke. Also an April Fool's one made for like a group of people. It's a lot more painful solo, I think. Although on the other hand, you don't have other people messing with your stuff, so that kind of helps. That makes up for it. But yeah, it's a very mentally destroying scenario for sure. Okay, well these are out of... I don't remember, but plastic is out of petroleum for some reason. We're out of sulfuric acid. That's weird. Although it's probably not that weird if we're out of petroleum. Yeah, actually, if we're out of petroleum, that explains everything. Okay, so let's get iron real quick. For sticks. Because that's an easy thing we can do right now without completely frying our brain. I don't actually know how expensive iron is, though. Like, normally iron sticks are incredibly cheap, right? But the issue is, I don't really know if anything changes from the mod. You have curse mods? Oh, right. You made the Undergrounds Can't Cross mod, right? That was yours? That one was fun. That one was a good amount of pain. Oh, the belt collision. Right. We did both of them at once to make it feel like it was all some kind of collision when we played it. Yeah, the thing... Okay, so the worst... Well, actually, hold on. Let's look through the list. The worst thing... I guess technically the worst part is the fact that we have to go underground to build everything. That's definitely, like, the most annoying. Wow, an unmineable ghost. Excellent. Okay, sticks are the same cost. That's actually not bad. But yeah, the underground everything is is very painful. Way less painful now. But at the start, before we added the mining productivity and the hand speed bonus to, make us equivalent to a group of people, it took us 30 minutes of expansion to get 10,000 ore. Random grenades, it's just an audio thing. Although I think it does occasionally spawn biters. But for the most part, that's just a jump scare type of thing. As opposed to an actually spawning grenades. So it's a little bit better than it sounds. Yeah, he might have gone off. He was here earlier. But yeah, the random grenades one are just an explosion scare thing. It's not actually a explosion that happens. I'm pretty sure it's combined though, and the tier 5 version of it does cause biters, or even worse than biters actually is the worms to spawn, like medium spit worms. You're currently working on a multiplayer mod that likes one person only able to do keyboard actions and the other only mouse. That's actually really cool. That seems like something that would be good to get a friend to do if you get it working, because that's a neat idea. Oh, I know why this isn't working. Where is this connected? Wait, hold up. Oh my gosh. I thought we had misconnected. I thought we misconnected it. Yeah. Okay, so it turns out I didn't make a mistake initially with the copper connection. I mean, I did now, but this was in fact supposed to be a copper belt. So now we have bricks on our copper lane. Awesome. Okay, well, it's fixable. Might take a bit to fix, but it is fixable. Well, let's just do this for now. You've discovered like 3 bugs in the process of making this. Oh, bugs in like Factorio in general? You're talking about the keyboard one still, right? Or are you like stealing someone else's, or using someone else's framework for it? Okay, will this work? Oh my gosh, so many belts just got destroyed with this. Hold up. How do we fix this? Technically, I think a filter inserter would work. But yeah, the top left GUI is nice. I like the map. It just gives something to look at. I guess it's not that helpful, but it is nice. It is visually appealing, and that's important. Okay, that should be fine. I think technically you can now clear the whole belt, right? Oh no, we need another one over here too. Okay, and of course it's placed the wrong way, because why wouldn't it be? And then of course we did the random spins, and it also got placed the wrong way a second time. Oh, see, look at that. There's the biter that spawned. But we have personal lasers, so he gets shot at instantly. Okay, you know, it's gonna take a while, but it technically clears itself, and that is all I care about right now. It automatically clears itself. Oh, it is way slower than I thought it would be. But hey, it's moving. Maybe we should get an extra inserter stack size. That could be useful. Also, we need to go and manually fix every single one of these. That was the wrong color of belt. I guess it's fine. We'll just roll with it. Okay, we need to look for the pattern here of a bunch of rectangles. Okay, these ones all look good. Yeah, if we output rails onto the belt, we're doomed. So we just need to make sure all of these are correct. Okay, that looks good. I see the square, I see the square. It's not really a square, it's more of a rectangle because Factorio is a rectangle, right? Isn't that like a whole thing with... Wasn't there like a whole update with trains? I remember a long time ago, trains were weird. And like, stations were not rotatable because they were longer in one direction. I don't remember how they fixed it. There was like a Friday Facts about it. That's all I remember. This is basically what you deal with trying to do stuff. You mess up everything. Yeah, it's all RNG, right? If you make enough... Look, if you make enough mistakes, maybe you can make something right. Like, you just gotta make a bug that counteracts another bug. I'm sure that's a thing somewhere. It can happen. Trains used to line up differently vertically for horizontal. Yeah, I remember that part. I just wasn't sure what the fix behind it was. Did they just like elongate the train now? Was that the solution, to just make the train technically longer when it's vertical? Because, like, the game isn't square. It's just mostly square. I doubt I guess the solution could have been compressing the whole game to make it square, but I don't think that was it. But I know it's something along those lines. They increased the gap. Ah, okay, that's what it is. The gap is wider. I just assumed they stretched out the graphics. The gap definitely makes a lot more sense. What am I looking for here, by the way? Uh-oh. There's copper on this belt, too. We might have cut batteries. Oh, I'm trying to figure out why we're not getting sulfuric. Okay, so these are all backed up on light oil somehow. Okay. Oh. I don't know how that happened, but this is the reason it's broken. Oh my gosh, I connected it to a light oil pipe that had 100, like I wasn't getting a constant production. It was just one pipe of of lubricant. That's what it was. And it just stopped this entire thing from running. Yeah, that tracks. A little bit of stretching as well. Okay. So with a combination of the two, it doesn't look that weird. I guess kind of with like puzzle. I guess puzzles are the same way. Like puzzles, if you make them like perfectly square, the puzzles are really weird. So they have this puzzles are just like slightly warped by like 10% or something like that. Or not the picture on the puzzle, but like the pieces are just a little bit off from like a perfect shape to make a good sized puzzle. And it just ends up not looking that weird because of how little it was distorted. Okay, I think this solves all of my problems. We can also do this for now. And by for now I mean this is now a permanent solution. But I think this fixes it and makes that we have petroleum again. Because I doubt we're producing so much light oil that these that we need all this cracking. We can also just start burning more, like for power, but our base is kind of stalling. Actually, our base has been stalling a lot more since we switched to expensive mode, which makes sense because most machines are running at half speed now. Yeah, they're the best kind of fixes. Okay, there's gonna be a really long delay before we start getting blue chips again, but I guess that's fine. Honestly, we probably have enough for launch. Okay, have we gotten any purple science yet? Or did I hook up this belt wrong? Hold on, this isn't... Oh, this isn't... Ah. Unfortunate. Okay. I have a solution. It's... Bear with me for a bit. It makes sense. But it prevents me from having to clear the entire belt. Right? So... This is my solution. There we go. This way I don't have to clear the entire belt to grab the bricks. Yeah, temporary fixes are pretty much my playstyle in a nutshell. Everything is incorporated to the base, and there will be no changes to fix it. Okay, we still have not figured out why fast inserters are not producing. If I had to guess, it is as straightforward as we don't have enough green chips, but I feel like we shouldn't be having this much of a shortage. Oh my gosh. You can tell we are a little bit preparing for marathon mode by having way too much science. That's I think it's a good solution. But basically I knew we were gonna need a lot of science, and I didn't want to have to expand my science. So this was the solution. And it worked. This produced half the green science we would have needed. And I think blue science is probably the same way. We were just going to rely on a giant buffer, so that way we didn't have to do increase the first 3 resources, so all of our resources could go to yellow and purple. It doesn't save a ton because the first 3 sciences are very cheap, but it still would have saved a decent amount. Also, this one doesn't output. But it still would have saved some resources, right? Especially since they would have been made before expensive was a thing. Okay, these are not running very well. Oh, that makes sense. No, that's fixable. Maybe. Yeah, it's fixable. We just have to do this. Perfect. Okay. And then if we move this one tile, I think everything works. Oh, one of these is facing the wrong way. It's still facing the wrong way. Okay, I think it's fixed. Okay, we have purple science, which surprisingly, these are not changed. I guess when you change the base recipes, for the most part, it does affect the entire chain. It's like it feels like they haven't changed processing units, but processing units are still like 4 times more expensive. Like it has the same ratios of green chips to red chips, but green chips are more expensive and red chips are more expensive. And because green chips are more expensive, red chips are even more expensive. So it's it definitely is affecting me more than it seems. Okay, but purple is hooked up. We might have to call it here because my allergies are really starting to get to me. But next time, hopefully, we'll be able to launch. Oh, they also, yeah, I guess they cost more sulfur. Sulfur is like so free that it's hard to consider it whenever I say something's expensive. But yeah, they do cost a little bit more sulfur. Maybe it finally becomes noticeable. But it just uses so little compared to batteries. But hopefully next time we can launch. We'll see. Maybe that's too ambitious. We don't even have steel. We would need to set up like 5 steel lanes next time if we want to launch. Like 5 red belts of steel. Well, 5 red belts of iron going into steel. But yeah, hope you all have a wonderful evening. We'll be back tomorrow with either burner designs or we might finish this. We might play more of this. I'm not sure. Next week is going to have a weird streaming schedule, so I might have to do Meme Run Monday probably on a different day. Family is visiting from out of town, so I doubt I'll be able to stream my consistently. At least for the weekend. It would be like Sunday and Monday. So weird schedule next week. I'll try to stick with my schedule as much as I can for this next week to make up for it though. So yeah, have a good one. Peace.